kind of skipped right there. But
Yeah, I've got it on Pamela, but we don't have a lot of foodcast much anymore.
I know, it's a shame. So I had a lot of fun with my phone this week.
Yeah.
It decided on Friday morning just wasn't going to connect to the network.
Awesome. That's my favorite thing.
I turn off Wi-Fi and it just goes no service. I'm like, what? I had things to listen to. Oh well, at least the podcasts. Yeah, at least the Giant Beast cast downloaded, so I can listen to that.
Yeah.
Uh,
How is that, by the way? I haven't listened to that yet.
It's phenomenal.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
I highly recommend it. I really like the combination of Vinny, Alex, and Austin.
Yeah, I like Austin a lot.
Austin's awesome, and he brings a lot of stuff to the table that you don't like. That whole pod, it's very different from the Bombcast.
Yeah,
because they don't do what have you been playing? They don't follow that same formula. They just sort of go topic to topic.
Oh, nice.
Games are the central topic of the whole thing. It's really, really cool. But no, I'm sitting here, and I had to pop the back off my phone. The display was acting funny because one of the flex cables is loose in the phone. It's a known issue with the Nexus 5. So I put a stack of tiny Post-its on the battery right above where the flex cable is, so the back of the case holds that flex cable in place while my new flex cable gets here. So jury rigged it so that it works, while I wait for the replacement part that I had to order from China.
eBay China.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like Amazon. It was it'll get there sometime before October.
Yeah. Amazon.ru.
Yeah, pretty much. So I do that. I put everything back together, and still no signal, no anything. And so I'm going back and forth on Twitter with T-Mobile help, and they're absolutely no help.
Have you paid your bill? It's yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
bro.
no, I'm fine, man.
Just call tech support.
I'm pretty sure your network's having trouble. And they're no, we're fine. I'm I don't believe you.
All green lights here.
It's okay, sure, you're looking at the wrong panel, I bet.
Light is green, trap is clean.
Yeah. So I post on the Nexus 5 subreddit. I'm hey, no LTE on Nexus 5 on T-Mobile, and they're okay, take your phone apart. There's this cable on the right side of the phone. Check it. I'm it looks plugged in. It looks fine. I tap it a little bit. It just comes off.
It's just ping.
It's it wasn't secured.
Right.
Down completely.
It's just wiggling the whole time.
Yeah. So it was going from I would have zero service when it was completely off and no connection, and the best I could get was Edge Network.
Oh wow.
So I clamp it down, and it's it's clicked into place now, and I put on my phone back together, and it finally sort of works, but it's not consistent. So last resort, I pop out the SIM card that I've had for 4 years and clean it with some nail polish remover to get all the gunk and gook off of it. Pop it back in, perfectly fine.
God, I hate technology.
So it was this perfect storm of just well, don't touch your phone, don't do stuff.
Stop using your phone, and it will work fine.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, my whole weekend was just oh, really? No service? Not even cell service? Fantastic.
Awesome. This is the best.
Yeah,
yay, the
awesome.
future.
Yay.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right.
finally came.
What is it?
Alright, that's the looper.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. That's a steelbook? Of course it
Nice.
is.
Is that another Mondo one?
Yep. This one is a Future Shop exclusive, which, since Future Shop got bought by Best Buy, I don't understand why I can't buy everything I want from there. Then they got, the spilled.
Oh, nice. Future Shop is a UK company, though, right? I could have sworn.
Future Shop Canada just got bought out by Best Buy.
Maybe it's just they got bought out by Best Buy Canada.
Faces.
Oh, nice.
And then this dude at eBay only took like 2 months for these to get here, but they're here.
Well, I had to go all the way from Canada.
Yep.
I know.
Via Russia. What is... Oh, Dread. Wow.
Dread.
Look at that cover.
That's a good one. I really like the inside of this one. It's more the, whatchamacallit, the... Oh, man, there's so many discs in here. But yeah, it's like all like the concept art for the...
Oh, nice. Whew. All right, you guys ready to kick this thing off?
Yes.
Your dogs are ready. Staring forever.
Yeah.
Always staring at me.
Now you're gonna look and he's gonna be like, "Oh, what's over there?"
So I'll put that there.
Everything in its place. There's a place for everything.
Yep.
All right. Ready?
Yes. Sort of.
All right. Let's kick this thing off in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your melting because it's 105 host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Knobs.
Hey.
And we got the Hannah.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome back from the echo chamber.
It's so cold the rest of my house. I got the sweatshirt on, and it is like boiling in here.
Yes.
Right, I'm next to the reactor.
Yeah. Well, you know, it warms you and your skeleton.
Yeah.
All right, let's just kick it right off with Knobs. What have you been playing?
Alrighty. Well, pretty much the same games I've been playing for, I don't know, the last 2... Has it been like 2 months I've been playing these 2 games?
At least.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it what I think it is?
Well, no, Battlefield Monday Night.
Well, yeah, that obviously.
Yeah, come out and join us. I've made some significant progress in Dragon Ball Z, Xenoverse.
There's nothing significant about any of your progress that you're making in that game. It is a black hole.
Did you ever figure out what the mystery for leveling up is?
Oh, yeah, beat the crap out of Boos.
Oh, well, that's always a good plan.
That one mission where I had to beat up 30 Boos nets me about 10 to 11,000 XP every time. So
not bad.
Nice.
I've just been milking the crap out of that. Now I'm like level 59.
Milking some Boos, all right.
And then, all right, so then you do all the power leveling up, and you spread out. I don't even know why you only get 3 attribute points, because this is driving me crazy. Because I just want to pound my way through the rest of this game. So it
I just want to finish it.
I really do. So you get your guy like all leveled up, and you're like, all right. So I'm using a lot of key attacks and the power blows and the yada yada yada. I need health and some extra stamina and some of my powers. And I'm like, okay. So I bust up all this stuff, and then you go back to the mainline missions. You blow through like 6, and then you hit a brick wall, and you're like, I can't. How do I beat these guys? Like. Like, I just laid waste to maybe 3 or 4 hits. Like, I've received in an entire battle. Now I am just getting pummeled.
Huh.
But yeah, like, so far, I think I'm on the home stretch, because now I'm doing almost the boss rush thing. So now I have a souped-up Kid Buu, Frieza, and Perfect Cell just right off the rip. Like, all 3, it's 3-on-1 at this point. I'm like...
Holy crap.
Wow.
And man, when they pin you in a corner, you're just like, I just sit back and take it.
Are they just pinballing you?
They just ram it in. Like, it is ridiculous.
Wow.
So then, like, I get through those 3, and then of course, and here comes a possessed Piccolo, Gohan, and Gotenks. I'm like, oh, how am I supposed to be able to beat the... Like, and they all have, like, the double-layered health bar.
Oh, yeah.
Where it has the yellow, then it beats down the red. I'm like...
It's like those it's like those old beat-em-up games on the Genesis, where it's like, oh, he's got a green health bar. It's sort of like, all right, now it's yellow. Wait, now it's blue. Now it's red. Is that the last one? Whoops, nope, there's a white one. It's just like, how many... What is happening?
And, like, they're not even in the right order. Like, you gotta go... You got Roy G. Biv, man. Come on.
Right. Let's keep it together here, Street Fighter.
But yeah, so I'm pounding my way through this, and I'm just like, all right, and then I have my allies, which is getting destroyed. So like, I'm pretty much, if you have an ally, he's cannon fodder. He's just a distraction. Just if it's not a mission where it's critical, where he doesn't get beat down, just let them distract. Try and lure one guy away, beat him up, and then just lure the next one.
You are my meat shield. Do not forget it. Pokechopsell in chat says sounds like an issue for Yajirobe.
Yajirobe isn't even in it. I'm like
the one character.
I haven't seen him yet.
Hey guys, remember me? Oh,
which one was he again?
He was the fat samurai.
Yeah, with the long hair.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one that cut Vegeta's tail off and
Yeah,
became the hero.
The only thing he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been way too long.
Well, might I point you at Funimation's fine collections of DVDs for Dragon Ball Z?
No, man. VHS.
Oh, remember I told you I ordered all those box sets?
Yeah.
I missed one.
Oh no.
I have them all except for season 6. Like, I don't understand how I missed that.
Is that just like the Android saga?
No,
Probably skip it.
It's the one in between Cell and the Majin series. Like,
Oh, okay. He's
So
running
it's-
along the Great Dragon for probably
yeah,
the
it's running
season.
around, yeah, that one and fighting space monsters.
Mr.
that one.
Popo says a bunch of stuff.
Oh, Kami.
Oh, comment.
I lost at the Mr. Popo things that happened in this one, man. It was... It's just this, like, so wrong. It's so funny.
That voice.
Oh, the boys. Like,
Oh.
come on.
Oh, that's so bad.
Oh, that and Tien. That Tien. What's
Yamcha?
the Yamcha? That little mutant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, DBZ.
But yeah, so I'm going through all this stuff, and I'm like kind of like found my wheelhouse, and like spending all my stuff on all my money's on gear.
Yeah.
Like the Frieza race specifics. They don't even know. Oh, you look like you're part of Frieza clan
One of those?
thing. But yeah, so I'm pounding my way through that. I gotta be close to wrapping this thing up at some point.
It seems like it if you're going through a boss rush.
Oh, it just seems, it's like, you, like, and I'm saying, like, it literally is running into a brick wall. Everything's fine until it's not. Like, it's...
Right. And it's not like it just keeps getting a little bit harder. It's just sort of like, wow, that mission was really easy. Whoop, I'm dead.
You're
Yeah.
not puking on the floor right now, are you?
Maybe a little.
No, plastic, on the plastic, on the plastic, no!
Oh.
Was that in the camera?
Yeah.
It was right behind the chair.
Oh, this got
half.
bombed. Anyway, so the last game I played this week before I cleaned that mess up. No, not on my hand. Oh, my foot. What is wrong with you?
Oh
I
God.
Hannah, what have you been playing?
Oh man, I don't know if I can follow that.
I mean, have you been playing any bad games?
Yes, actually, I have been playing some bad games now that you mention it. I made an attempt to play Freedom Wars on the Vita.
Oh, okay.
This game could not be trying harder to make me hate it.
What is Freedom Wars? Is it a Monster Hunter alike?
I don't know because it won't let me into the full game, and I'm like 2 hours in.
Awesome.
I'm like, I'm trying to get to a point in this game where I want to play it, and it is its own worst enemy at every single point.
It just keeps pushing you away.
It's just like, so it opens up and it's like, oh, you have amnesia. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Go figure.
Oh, you lost your memory? That's a crime. Let's throw you back in jail. Cool. All right, that makes sense. Let's start the tutorial with this robot that is ordering me around.
Naturally.
Okay, what is the story here? What's the hook? The hook is just that you have a 1,000,000-year sentence for having amnesia,
Seems
and
fair.
now you have to battle your way out. And it put me as like, okay, here's the battle system, and I'm like, finally, I'm gonna get to the meat of this game, and it was literally just an obstacle course.
Great.
I was just
Great.
like, I wanted to blow my brains out after an hour. I couldn't believe it.
Poke Chop
There's-
Salad in chat says, Hannah, the story is a huge slog. Sounds like that's maybe a little bit of an understatement with how that
I
game
think
presents itself.
I think it might be, and everyone's been hailing this as like just the Vita game to play,
Yeah, I've heard that time and time again.
and everyone else is wrong. I'm gonna definitively say that.
How long have you played? About 2 hours?
About 2 hours. And
I
just
wonder
like,
if it's one of those horrible things like the beginning of Persona 4 where it's like, I just want to play the game. And then once it opens itself up, you're like, oh, Okay, gameplay. This is actually pretty great.
Maybe, but like I don't have the time. I don't have the time to go, oh, well, it gets really good 10 hours in. Then it's a bad game.
Yeah. Poke Chop Salad said, I pushed through it and then got to the meat of the combat and loved it. I'd be curious how long that took you, Poke Chop Salad.
Yeah. I think I'll give it another shot. This was a couple weeks ago. We were watching the dogs at my in-laws, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to sit down. I got some time. We're just chilling out. I'm going to play this, and I'm literally falling asleep in my chair playing this.
Yeah,
it's nothing worthwhile in the story. It's interesting, but they don't tell you anything about the world. They don't give you any sort of narrative hook to say, okay, they just go, nope, you've got this number, and you have to make that number go down.
Huh.
I'm just like, that's not enough.
Are you making your your jail sentence go down?
Yes. So you have your million-year jail sentence, and every time you complete a mission, it knocks like 20, 30 years off. And
that by itself is interesting, but...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But when you have that large of a number, it's sort of like, well, this feels insurmountable, and really just sort of... It's very, I don't know. The game felt kind of claustrophobic. I wasn't really in love with the way it controlled at first. I think I'm going to give it another shot when I have another couple hours to just sit down and really like focus on it. But I haven't had that in the last couple of weeks, so yeah, I may not be giving it a fair shake.
It'd be curious to find out because it's so much. It's being so praised everywhere that there's got to be something there. It's just. I kind of wish that it had some indication of like, look, you're almost done. You're at step 3 of 5 in the tutorial. You're getting there. Just stick with it.
There just doesn't seem to be enough feedback of like, okay, here we're going to drop you in the actual game now. Go play. I think this is like endemic of Japanese games in general as of late. It's just like, here we're just gonna like lead you on for like 4 hours with tutorials.
Yeah, strap in for the ride. Like you're on our time.
Strap in for the ride. We're going to go about 3 miles an hour for about 4 hours. Are you ready?
Poke Chop Salad in chat says it took hours to get to the actual list of things to do. It's like Monster Hunter that you also have to find your comfort zone with weapons you like. Let me turn it on and check which mission you get to let loose.
Okay.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're getting there. You're getting to the point where it'll just kind of turn you loose on the list and say, go crazy.
And it's one of those things where it's like I would be willing to put more time into it if I didn't have significantly more interesting things to play right now.
Yeah, if it was like you only had a Vita and this is one of your 3 Vita games to play.
Yeah.
You could be like, well, I'll just keep sticking with it.
But, I'm in the middle of things that are infinitely more fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Like time clickers.
Oh God.
Because I'm a monster. No, you know what? Jeff Gerstmann is a monster. As his blog states, Jeff Gerstmann is still a threat.
That's true.
And he is a threat on my sanity. And my... It's running in the background right now. Like,
I don't doubt that.
It's so for anyone who's not heard of this. So if you've heard of like Adventure Capitalist or Clicker Heroes, this is what they call an idle
clicker
or cookie clicker. It's an idle game. You don't really play the game. You just sort of let it run and you click a couple of buttons for upgrades every once in a while. It's been running on my computer for a solid 72 hours straight.
It's really just a Bitcoin miner.
You know what? I would actually be okay with that.
Yeah.
If it were worthwhile to do that, go for it.
Yeah.
This game, don't play this game. It's really stupid.
Yeah, don't put yourself in these shackles.
No, it's awful. And the worst part is I discovered there's an Android version.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it syncs up with your PC version.
Monsters.
I've been playing some real bad games.
Yeah, what's happening?
I firmly blame Giant Bomb for this.
For the world's ills.
For unleashing this on me and therefore the world.
Yeah.
Jeff Gerstmann must be stopped.
Yeah.
You don't have to play it.
I'm not playing it. That's the point. That's why it's so awful.
That's the worst part. I'm not even doing anything, and I'm still playing it.
It's the worst, and I can't.
I've already stopped, and it still runs.
It's just going. I could close it, but why would I do that? The numbers keep going up. They keep getting bigger and adding letters on the end of them.
Have you played any good games this week?
I have.
Okay.
I definitively say I've played good games because I played a ton of Rocket League.
Nice.
Wednesday night game night has become one of the best things in the week because of Rocket League.
Just needed that one game.
Just needed that game, man. I think Far Cry 4 had a chance had more people had it, but it not big enough.
Rocket League was free. Can't beat free.
You can't beat free, and you can't beat 8 players. Like we struggled to get 3 at one point. Like we were, rolling maybe 3 deep when we were playing Helldivers.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'll hop on. That party is full.
Well, and the great thing about Rocket League too is it's 5-minute matches.
Yes.
So like you can get 3 matches in, and you haven't even broken a half an hour. You know, it's not like when we were playing Left 4 Dead, and it was one match could be 3 minutes because one team is just doing real bad, or it could be an hour and a half because things are going back and forth real nicely.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. It's just Rocket League's strength is so much like, this is 5 minutes for real.
Yeah. Well, I got to shout out to Troy and Abed in AM on PSN, who is Team Asil in the forums. So he's sort of been taking charge.
Asil.
Yes. So he's been sort of taking charge, and like every Wednesday he'll set up the party and like get everything going. So, thumbs up to him. If you want to play Wednesday nights, he's your guy to hit up.
Yeah, he helped me get my platinum in Tomb Raider.
Oh, nice.
So forever props for him.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think he's also been. I got the name wrong last week. I'm gonna try it again. I think he's also the one doing the highlights and lowlights video.
I believe so. I would have to double check the forums. Really
Sorry,
quick.
we're bad hosts.
We
love you, community, but we do. Our brains are dumb and bad.
Yeah, they are.
Except for knobs, naturally.
The nice thing about those is we get to see.
What? Wake up!
No, I was actually looking for the title of the last game I was playing, but
we'll come back to you.
I was working. I was on point.
Yeah.
So I played a bunch of Rocket League, and I'm not great at it. It feels like I'm getting better every week, though. Like you feel like you have to relearn it for every number of players you have. So if you're playing 2-on-2, it's sort of a different game. If you're playing 3-on-3, it's an even different game. If you're playing 4-on-4, there's no strategy that actually works. Just get out of the good player's way. I'm looking at you, Jay-Z, and I'm looking at you, Billsiford. I will just stay out of your way. Please don't kill me.
That sounds a lot like when we played 8-player Mario Party. Where it's like, look, nobody is going to win at this. This is just going to be chaos.
Yeah. You have to put the disclaimer before you start. Now, not going to hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah.
We're here to play a game.
Right.
Settle down.
Nobody fight. Yeah. We are all terrible.
Yeah, some of the things they did in the most recent patch were really cool, though. Like they added a new arena style. It's the same arena, but it looks a little different. It's basically a skin for the map.
Well, I heard that was one of the real big benefits of the previous version. Was there were a lot of arenas that were not the standard arena size, and apparently the community really liked that. I think they were smart to not launch with any of those, because then you can just learn how to play Rocket League. It's not like you're not picking up a regular game and being like, oh, I got this, cool, let's try some of the other. You're a flying acrobatic rocket car that's playing future space soccer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you kind of need you need less variables at the beginning.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't be opposed to them doing arenas of different sizes, but I don't think it would add enough to the game to where they could justify it. I think as it is, that game is in a really good spot, and if they keep doing what they're doing, adding cosmetic items,
adding car types,
stuff like that is going to be a lot more beneficial to them. And if down the line they want to experiment with, let's try a bigger arena, a slightly smaller arena.
Yeah.
If they do that, I would say, a bigger arena. If you're going to do a bigger arena, make a 5v5.
Oh, sure, yeah, sell DLC for a whole separate mode.
Yeah, and if you're going to do smaller arenas, limit them. If you get to a smaller size and you start doing 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 in those, what? No, that's going to be way too much. It's too much on the standard size.
Well, and I think they have a really, I think, and it seems like they're starting to figure it out. I think they have a really solid game that has a really devout following at the moment, and it seems like Rocket League is getting some attention in some of the esports leagues.
Yes.
I think if they keep that core game solid, and just sell cosmetic DLC and sell additional cars, I think they kind of have a solid business model there.
They've got a platform, is what they have.
Yeah,
you know, they don't
a platform
need
that people already love.
Yes. I think they're doing a really great job with it. I'm really excited to see where this game goes in the coming year.
Yeah.
I'll be really interested to, you know, you look at games like Team Fortress 2 or Dota or League of Legends, and you see how they've changed over their lifespans. I'm really interested to see what happens with Rocket League on that sort of time scale.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see if Rocket League would kind of take a lot of its notes from how Dota does its monetization, where Dota's just like, hey, you have everybody that all the heroes that are in this game for this free download.
Yeah.
And you just pay for cool skins and other like voice packs and, you know, skinning the UI and stuff like that. And you know, that stuff is not cheap, but it's not expensive. But the people that are really invested in the game are going to want to pay for that, and people that don't just get to play the game.
Yeah, I think actually now that you mentioned voice packs, I think the only thing missing from Rocket League as a product is an announcer. Like,
yeah, I kind of like that it doesn't have one though, because you know, if I feel like some of that stuff could get either a good announcer is really good, or it's just the most annoying. Like, you can't always have the Unreal announcer.
That's
where it absolutely fits and it really adds to it. Otherwise, you just have some guy over there like, yeah, it's an ultra kill. I
totally get that, but I would love, you know, be able to turn it on and off and be able to buy voice packs for it.
Sure, yeah.
I just want Snoop Dogg talking about me playing Rocket League. That's all I want.
Yeah. That'd be okay.
I think that's fair.
Why is Snoop? I imagine his color commentary is awful.
No, he was in one of the Call of Duty games as an announcer.
They did a DLC of him for Call of Duty. It's just the first one that came to mind.
Yeah.
I would, I would pay for an Alan Rickman one too.
That's just the most deadpan. Like, yeah, you blew him up.
Yep.
Mr. Potter.
Yeah. No, it would have to be a Snape one. He would have to just be a total jerk.
Yeah.
Or a Hans Gruber one. I would.
That'd be way better.
Yeah.
Poke Chop Salad says Patrick Warburton announcer pack.
Yes.
The goal.
That'd be great.
Goal.
There's a goal. Feels like an Arby's night.
Yeah. So I played a lot of Rocket League.
8 ball.
I think we did 2 hours. I think I did 2 hours straight. I don't know how long the earliest people were on. Actually, no, I remember now because Timasil was not online. He had something else going. So I started up the party. And I literally played Rocket League just 2 hours straight, no interruption. That's a lot of matches.
Yeah, and it makes it so easy where you just finish a match and it's like, all right, everybody press X. We're back into it.
Yep, one more.
Like, just keep this rolling.
Yep. Let's see. We talked about that and that. Oh, I played a little bit of Fallout Shelter because that came out on Android.
Yeah, my wife has been. She's pretty sick this weekend, and that's all she has been. She just has her phone plugged into the wall and just laying on the couch and playing Fallout Shelter.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a lot like Tiny Tower.
Yeah, it's the only issue I've run into so far is I'm really bad about building power generators first. I'm always like, ooh, I want to do this, and like I want to do this, and then you're like, oh, everything's shut down because I have one power generator.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Gotta get more of those.
Yeah, I've so far resisted the temptation to, excuse me, buy any lunch boxes.
Oh, I did that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I treated it a lot like Tiny Tower, where I was having enough fun, where it's like, all right, this game was free. I'm having a ton of fun with it. I'm going to toss you $20.
Yeah, I'll probably do that eventually, maybe after PAX. I'll play Fallout 4 at PAX, and then I'll throw some money at them. Let's see if they deserve it. You know?
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Yeah. No, Fallout's good. It's a little dumb phone game that you can pick up every here and there and just play like on your lunch break. It's fun.
It's not free to play scummy though, which is great.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you need more energy to do this. Yeah. You watch this video to get more energy. You know, it has none of that.
Oh man, Time Clickers does that.
Oh,
it's so
so
bad.
does Alpha Bears. You need more honey. Watch this video.
Oh, I just paid $5 to unlock Alpha Bears.
I'm thinking about doing that too. I haven't played any Alpha Bear recently. So it was one of the patches on Android. Like it would not run properly on my phone for like a couple of weeks there, which is a bummer.
Boy,
But then
your
again,
phone, man.
that's
Gotta
what I get.
uninstall that time clickers.
Yeah, I bet
Just
that's
mining bitcoins on your phone now too.
mining Litecoin.
Yeah.
Played a little bit more of my Mass Effect 2 save. I've got Morden Solus,
Yes, you do.
and he's the best. I forgot
Yep.
how awesome he was.
It's pretty great.
It's just like, oh, yeah, that clinic doctor. Yeah, he killed all those dudes and put them on pikes outside of his clinic to warn others.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot
you should
about
go
that.
there.
Yeah, maybe you
It's
should
like-
go make friends with him.
And like, it's my Renegade playthrough, so I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that guy seems alright.
It seems pretty great.
Seems unhinged like the rest of us.
Well, like, so the one part of that mission where you come across his protege,
Oh, yeah.
and got to go with the Renegade choice because I'm trying to do that. And that guy was just like, "You're a monster." I'm like, "Yeah, you worked for him."
Yeah,
What's
that
your
guy's
point?
also a monster.
We're all pretty great here, so maybe
Yeah.
you need to change your attitude.
Yeah.
Didn't Morden Solus kill more people in that universe than anybody else?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
Yeah,
complete
based on the
genocide?
story of 2, yeah, he was instrumental in I think, Krogan genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's,
good point. And they call
yeah.
Shepard the monster.
Yeah.
Right?
Sheesh.
Just trying to kill some Reapers, man. That's all. I
Yeah,
want.
it's trying to save the universe. No big deal. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
like
Let me do my job.
Shepard's body count's poultry 3,000 at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I let some things go at the Citadel at the end of the last one, so it might be a little higher than that.
That's true. Well,
You do what you got to do, man.
omelets and eggs and all that.
Yeah. It's a lot of omelets and a lot more eggs.
It's space.
It's
the problem of
nothing.
scale.
You made a frittata.
Yeah. Space frittata. Let's be fair here.
Yeah.
But the last game I played this week, I finally finished up Life is Strange Episode 2.
Ah. The one week we
That
can't do a spoiler cast.
I know, right? That game, man. They're doing a real good job of writing everything in that game.
Mm-hmm.
That I want to talk more about it. I want to be able to spoil it, but we can't.
Do you feel like the real turning point of that series is episode 2? Because I was reading something recently where I feel like episode 1 puts forth it gets off on the wrong foot where it's like, yeah, girlfriends, woo, talking about totally and legit and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like what episode 2 presents is a much more personal story.
Yes.
That episode 1 seemed like you were basically going to play Alan Wake.
Yeah.
And episode 2 was basically like, well, what if Alan Wake wasn't a jerk and was willing to talk to his wife?
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, I actually agree with
That's
that.
a really good point.
Yeah.
Right?
You could have just stayed in the cabin and talked to your wife.
Yeah.
Everything would have been fine. But no, I'm going to turn out the lights on her and be a jerk.
Yeah.
Whoops,
Gotta
a
be
guy
all,
with a chainsaw.
gotta be all brooding.
I write books.
So
Mysterious.
I like the way they're establishing the power that you have.
Yes.
And the way they are treating it. They're not... There are points in this game where it's obvious that they are going to have to take your powers away from you to tell their story.
Okay. Yes.
They're going to need to do that.
Trying not to spoil anything.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do. And they don't just suddenly... It's not a sudden act of depowering you out of nowhere. There is indications in the story prior to it happening that, hey, maybe this thing isn't as stable as you think it is.
Right.
And they're doing a really, really good job of putting that forward and working the mechanics into the story like that.
Yeah.
And I greatly appreciate that. That was one of the biggest things for me for episode 2. One of the overarching things was just like, okay, they've established that this is a thing that might or could happen. Let's go with it.
Well, it's also the thing I love so much about her power is it gives you the opportunity to do the thing in adventure games that you always want to do, which is
Yeah.
I don't know which one I'm going to choose between these two. So I'm going to choose one and see how that goes. And then I'm going to go rewind it. Basically like you're save scumming. Yeah. And I'm going to try the other one. Whoa, that one was way worse. All right, I'm going to rewind again. I'm going to go back to the other one.
Exactly. Like, they've turned save scumming into a mechanic, which sounds insane.
Yeah.
But it's exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
Like, they've put limits on it, obviously. You can't rewind the whole game and just start over.
Yeah, it has a limitation to it, but it's pretty generous.
It's very generous, and I really, like, it's basically as long as you're still within the area that you just loaded into, you can go back as far as you want.
Yeah.
The characters in this game are so well fleshed out and so well written. And, like, the dialogue at times feels a little cheesy and a little stilted, but it's not enough to where I'm taken out of the story.
And the voice acting is so good that I kind of, when the writing falls apart a little bit, I kind of don't care, because I think Max and Chloe are both voiced really well.
They are. They're voiced incredibly well.
Yeah.
And it really makes for a really believable... Not only... I mean, they've done a lot of work setting up the town and the universe that you're in, but they've also done work setting up, like, the past relationship that these two characters had and the relationship they're like, where their present relationship state is now.
Yeah, and they do a lot of stuff to fill in a lot of characters' backstory, you know, like with Chloe and... Amber Rachel.
Yeah, and like episode 2's gone. I still haven't met her, so
right.
You know, it's
the marmalade sandwich.
So
yeah,
it's
that game
it's
is
pretty
outstanding.
crazy. I'm extraordinarily happy with it. I've started episode 3. I'm not very far into it though, so I don't have a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah, and you're gonna get to the point where, you know, when I was talking about finishing episode 4 the other day, it's sort of like. Yeah. I can't even speak to really any of this other than I'm still happy where the story is going. Yeah, and that's about all I can say, because you know, like it's still of a solid quality throughout the first 4 episodes, and I like where the story is going. But to talk about any of it is either gibberish to people that haven't played any of it.
Yes.
Or it's an immense spoiler because you're on episode 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So I can't even talk about anything.
Yeah. One of the things I really do like in this game, as far as mechanics go, is the fact that your main character basically keeps a diary that you can access at all times.
It is really good.
It's really nice because you can go back and, like, I had like more than a month between episode 1 and starting episode 2 and finishing episode 2. So I literally had to go back and reread all this stuff and go, okay, where was I at? What happened? You know, and you get it from the character's perspective. It's not just like a chat log.
Well,
out of context, like snippets, you know?
The thing I like, too, is because it's her diary, they do such a great job of presenting everything in the game as if it lives in the game. So normally a diary like this would be like, Max and Chloe went to go drive to this place and someone got in a fight. Instead, she's actually writing it from her perspective, but also because she's an art student and she's carrying around this notebook that she's writing in, it also has pictures that she's taken. It also has like scribbles and drawings and like color tests and like snippets from magazines that she likes. Like it's all presented in this world as in, well, I have to use this notebook for school, but I'm also kind of writing stuff in it, but I'm also using it for all this stuff. They have just such an interesting presentation on even like menu items like that.
Yeah, it's really well put together. I can't speak highly enough of this game right now.
Yeah,
and I'm just starting episode 3. So if you haven't played it, go out, play this game. Like, it's easily in my top 3 for this year already.
Yeah. For me, like I talked about after episode 4, as long as they don't screw it up at the end of episode 5, it's between that and Steins Gate for my number 1 spot. And it's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening, maybe next week we'll do a spoiler cast for episode 2 and 3 if you finish episode 3.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I want to do one definitely at the end of episode 3.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty much all I played this week, though.
Knobs, what was the last game that you...
So I picked up Toy Soldiers: The War Chest.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
And that's because I saw a screenshot of He-Man. I'm like, huh. Hey, what is this? And I went through the pictures. I was like,
oh, Cobra Commander's in there too. Huh.
Why not? Let's go G.I. Joe. And for some reason, Assassin's Creed made the cut. I didn't know they had a line of toys.
I think Ubisoft is publishing it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But yeah, so essentially that's Trenched.
Yeah, it's interesting because Toy Soldiers 1 and 2 were XBLA games on the 360 that kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people. My wife loves both of them, but I forgot about them completely until this one came out, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, right, Toy Soldiers. All right, yeah, it basically is like a lunchbox plastic toy soldier version of Trenched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun, except that you're not in your trench the whole time. Like, you have to queue up your, if you sit in a turret long enough, you build up whatever your meter and you can drop. So the tutorial was like the World War One toys.
Yeah.
So you have like all this stuff, and all of a sudden you drop the Kaiser down in there, just running around blasting away till his life's gone, and then you're back up doing your tower defense thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So it was a lot of fun. I was like, yeah, all right, I can play this. I need to get someone else to pick this up because this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially you have your battlefield, the waves of enemies coming at you. There's a little timer on the right hand side, and you have your little toy boxes way in the back. So you're setting up your battlements and whatnot, and just trying to get everyone killed and safe and whatever.
Yeah, they're fun games.
It has a really cool look. I really enjoyed this so far. Even though it crashed on the first boot, but
yeah, that happens.
Worked the second time. Why not?
All right. First off, I gotta apologize. I think the breeze from the window is hitting my mic. I'm not gonna close the window because it's 105 degrees. So sorry, anyone, if you can hear that on the mic. I picked up a Rare Replay for the Xbox One. Mostly because I wanted to play Viva Pinata, because that's one of the best games ever made.
Cedo has seeds.
Yeah. Rare Replay is really interesting. So I think it's really good to look back on Rare's history. You know, even when they started as Ultimate Play the Game, back on the ZX Spectrum. I think it's really it's good to look back at a company that has managed to stay open for 30 years, has managed to continue to put out really high quality stuff. Of course, there's a lot of stuff missing from the collection, like GoldenEye isn't in there, the Donkey Kong Country games aren't in there. Well, that stuff was never going to make it. You know, Microsoft can't go to Nintendo and be like, "Hey, can we put like 4 Donkey Kong games in this? Does that sound cool? All right, see you later." You know, it's not going to happen. But they have the important ones. They have, you know, they have Blast Corps, they have Conker's Bad Fur Day, they have the Viva Pinata games, they have Battletoads. You know, they have almost all of their original games in that collection. And it's presented really interestingly, where it's kind of a museum to Rare's games. And I think it's pretty cool. I think the biggest problem, though, is that especially these ZX Spectrum games, they get a little bit better once you start hitting like the NES.
Yeah.
They're so old. And that in and of itself is fine. But I think when you're talking about games that are that old, and I think a lot of people might not remember this, is it came with an instruction manual for a reason.
Yeah.
So it's presented really well. The emulators are incredibly well done across all of the platforms. The 360 games are all use the new Xbox One's backwards compatibility infrastructure, which works really well. It just installs all of those games straight off the disc, and then you can load them individually through the games and apps area. But when you're talking about these old games, there has to be a little bit of assistance, because Rare Replay, it seems like it's kind of fighting with itself, because it's almost like this archival set, where here's all this old stuff. You might not spend a lot of time playing, you know, Jetpack or Saberwolf, but the games are there and they're presented really well. What I think is unfortunate is they don't go far enough on the archival stuff, where
bummer.
When you look at something like Pinball Arcade, it has like the original advertisement, it has like the magazine ads, it has like the one sheet that came with it when you unboxed it. You know, it comes with all this stuff around it. I think Rare Replay would have been way better if it would have just had a scanned version of the instruction manual.
Yeah,
because
probably.
you have to. That's what taught you how to play the game, because back then you're loading games off cassette tapes. Yeah. And there's not enough memory for a tutorial. There's not even like enough memory for a screen that it tells you how to play the game. There is something in there. You can hit, I think, the Y button, and it snaps a section where it says, oh, here's the controls, here's how to play. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't go far enough. How to play is basically like, you need to put together the pieces of your spaceship. It's like, cool. Like, where? Like, how does that... where does all this stuff fit together? Like, how do you do all of this stuff? Mm-hmm. I wish it was presented a little bit better, using that archive stuff to kind of give you the full picture.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, get out of your ear. I hate this dog. So, like, when you look at stuff that's earlier than the NES, it doesn't really make a lot of sense unless you played it back then, or unless you can look something up online for how to help you. When you start getting to the NES, a lot of those games are self-explanatory. Or they have, like, you know, RC Pro-Am, like, your first race. Oh, you know, like, beep, beep, real quick around the track. You know, those are self-explanatory things. There's only 2 buttons. You can only you can only do so much. So I think that's kind of one of its failings. I think otherwise, it's really great. It has 30 games. All the ones, the N64 emulator is fantastic. The ZX Spectrum emulator is fantastic. The 360 backwards compatibility stuff is great. It ties into, there's like a 2,000 achievement points for the game itself. Mm-hmm. And then each one of those backwards compatibility games have their own achievements. So you can get up to like 10,000 achievements in this one collection if that's something you're still really chasing down.
Yeah.
But it's presented really well, and a lot of the stuff kind of just works. And there are a bunch of display modes. You know, there's a bunch of filters. You can either soften the game a little bit, which is off by default, thankfully. You can have it emulate a CRT monitor, which is really aggressive. It's very curved, and the scan lines are rough. You can turn up borders on and off. You can blow up the screen, shrink the screen. You know, there's a lot of stuff you need when you're looking at emulation collections.
Yeah.
And it's only $30. And
That's
you get to
not
play
bad.
great games like Snake, Rattle, and Roll, which unfortunately no one remembers. And that game is great.
Yeah.
It's sort of interesting to see a lot of the games they picked, because, you know, they have Battletoads, they have RC Pro-Am, but they also have RC Pro-Am 2.
Which is weird.
Which I don't think is as good as RC Pro-Am.
No, it's not.
So, like, when you look at the list of 30 games, could they have pulled that out to put another game in there that... You don't need RC Pro-Am 2. Like, you need the first one, for sure, and you need Battletoads, even though, I'll be honest, Battletoads does not hold up anymore.
I can imagine it would.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I have nightmares about that racing section still.
I always liked that section. I don't know why.
I'm
like the only dude that's like, that racing section is okay.
I never finished it, ever.
I always hated that reverse perspective one where you're the thing targeting your character as you're moving around and trying to throw rocks at it.
You know, that's the first boss, and I forgot about that until I fought him. That's such an interesting way to get around the NES's limitations, because they keep trying to tell you this boss is huge, but, like, they clearly can't fit the sprite on the screen. So, like, the very first thing you see is this giant leg, but it's like 2 colors, and then you see this viewpoint from the robot itself that's clearly bigger than you are, but you're playing just from its viewpoint looking at your character. So, like, at no point do they ever really show the full thing. Technically it's pretty interesting getting around what the NES could and couldn't do. But, like, I
forgot about that.
They don't have a lot of Super NES games, because that's basically the Donkey Kong Country series.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You know, it has Blast Corps, it has Perfect Dark, it has Conker's Bad Fur Day. You know, it kind of has everything you want. It has both Viva Pinata games, it has all 3 Banjo-Kazooie games. You know, it kind of has all the stuff you'd want, and it's only $30. I just wish they would have gone just a little bit further to get that historic stuff and just put the manuals in there, because I think that would have resolved a lot of problems. And they have these like flashback challenges, I think it is, where they're presented really well, and it's the same thing that Master Chief Collection did that I think is really great with these collections, where they'll throw a collection together, and the upcoming Mega Man Legacy Collection is doing this too, thankfully, where there'll be one playlist where it says, you're going to play through 10 levels, and each one of them are from games that focus on you collecting a diamond. So it'll be across, like, you'll start maybe with Saber Wolf, and you'll go to a Tick Attack, and you'll go to all these other stuff, and then you'll end up with, Cobra Triangle, or whatever that NES game's name is. So it crosses over all these games, which I think is kind of cool, but that seems to be I don't know what that noise was.
What are you sitting on, bubble wrap?
I'm sitting on a fake leather chair, so make some noise.
So I think that was their solution to here's how to play these games, but it kind of makes the problem worse because it throws you into like level 10 of Underworld, and it's like I don't even know where I am now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're spending a lot of time sort of improving it. Jet Force Gemini, they actually just patched it the other day to put in dual stick controls, because it seems like people forgot that was on the N64 and they didn't have dual sticks. So a lot of your like jumping was pushing up on the left stick. So it's sort of like, wait, what? That's not going to work.
No.
So within a couple days they patched it, which is great. So it seems like, and they're talking about having DLC putting more games in there, which would be great, but I don't know. It's a great collection. I don't think they're really expecting people to play a lot of the ZX Spectrum games all that much, so it's not that big of a deal, but go play Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise. The game is still great. It's amazing. I played more Galak-Z.
Oh, nice.
Because I know I talked a lot of yang about it last week, and I still really like that game. It's just so hard. And it's just I figured, well, all right, if I'm going to sit down, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play through the whole first season again, and then I'll take all those upgrades over to season 2. Erroneous.
No?
You play through the whole first season, they take them away, they take all your upgrades away, they give you all your crash coins, so you can turn those in for salvage, and then you can use that salvage to buy more upgrades to start season 2 with.
Oh.
And at that moment, I got what they were going for.
Yeah.
You're supposed to continue to play the game and keep not really beating your head, but continue to try and see how far you can get, collecting blueprints along the way. They really want you to scour each individual environment. You get more blueprints along the way so that all of those show up on the store, so that when you finish a season or you come into a lot of money, you can kind of pick and choose all your upgrades in the store. So to me, that makes more sense. It's pretty hardcore, but I think for people that really enjoy that style of roguelike, I think it's really appealing. I still really like the game. I just, in the face of a lot of other roguelikes, I don't know how often I'll play it, mainly because of the time investment needed for it. So I've got a lot of other games I need to play, so I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those games I go back to every once in a while and just be like, oh, yeah, I need to play a little more Galak-Z. Play it for an hour or two and be like, oh my god, this game. I can't, just close it. Just close application. Come on.
I've heard nothing but like really good stuff about that game, but just every person I've talked to is just like, yeah, it's real hard, and I that was like my main decision on skipping it. It was just I don't have the time to invest.
And they've been really good about patching it, and they've been really tuning it a lot, and they've been doing a lot of performance patches, which is great. I don't know how much they'll do once season 5 comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll go back and rebalance some stuff, but it seems like that's kind of the game. And I think if you're interested in Galak-Z, it's really, you need to figure out if you're looking for something that's that tough. And that doesn't make it a bad game. It's just kind of, you know, are you at this point where you kind of want to play a super tough game like that? And my answer is, well, sometimes. I played more Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I would really like to. I was gonna stream this the other day, and my capture card died, which is totally. It's like 7 years old, so it was time to go.
Yeah.
So until I buy a new one, I can't stream that. But I'm nearly done with everything for all characters except for the Lost. So I'm just kind of playing through all the other characters on hard to do all of the challenges.
Nice.
And it's going really well, which of course it is because I'm not streaming. So
no pressure.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as I stream it will just go to hell.
Yeah.
I started the first Dragon Age Inquisition DLC, The Jaws of Hakan, because the second one came out, and I figured, well, I should probably play the first one first. It's not my time for that game right now.
No.
Just not. The second DLC seems really cool. The first DLC, I played maybe about an hour of it. Does not seem very cool. They kind of just throw you into another area that is really big and is really cool looking. It just does not contain things that I really care about.
Yeah.
It is a lot of, you're doing the same thing that you're doing in the main game when you go to another area. You're setting up a bunch of camps, you're kind of crawling from one end to the other and doing a bunch of missions throughout the way, and just, it's kind of more of the same. And I would like to finish it though, because I would like to think that some of the story stuff goes an interesting way. But the second one sounds so much cooler, where you're kind of delving into the deep roads, which hasn't been done well in a Dragon Age game yet.
No,
and
it has not.
Word from people that have been playing the DLC is it's presented really interestingly. So I would like to see that. And I like Dragon Age Inquisition a lot. It just, I think I need something different out of the DLC to bring me back into a game where I spent literally 100 hours doing all of that stuff. So I kind of need something more to drop $15 to come back into it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I kind of feel a little RPG'd out at the moment, which is the reason why I've dived deep into this next game I'm playing. So I feel like I said I was going to start The Witcher 3, but Metal Gear Solid 5 is coming out in like 2.5 weeks.
I'm so excited. So
I can't play anything serious before that because I need to clear my schedule for this. So excited, Knobs. You have no idea. You have an idea.
No, I do, but it's just I wish there were games that just had my attention that hard.
So the thing for Metal Gear Solid 5 is I'm excited for it, but not to the point where it has my attention like that. I have to beat it fast because the internet is lousy with spoilers. And I'm not even talking about like Reddit and NeoGAF. I'm talking about like Kotaku and Polygon, who are more than happy to like spoil important parts about Life is Strange Episode 4 in titles of news stories. Yeah. So like I had a real bad week with new video game news outlets this week anyway. So I have a bone to pick with them in general. And I know someone is going to be talking about, like, look how crazy this David Hayter cameo is. Spoilers in brackets. Yeah. Cool. Now, it's the same thing I've always railed about, where it's like, the twist at the end of that movie was crazy. I won't spoil what it is, though. It's like, you just told
me it was. Yeah.
Now I'm waiting, I'm inhaling the whole movie for this twist that can never live up to what it did for you. Whatever. Anyway,
the whole Sixth Sense thing.
Yeah, just like that twist was crazy, right, guys? Wink. It's just like, well, thanks.
Well, no, I had that spoiled on the Conan O'Brien show. Like I didn't go to the movies.
That's even worse.
So I'm sitting there watching Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and Andy Richter drops it. He's like, "Yeah, it was kind of crazy when we found out Bruce Willis is dead." I'm like, "What?"
You're like, "Wait, does that happen? Wait, that's the movie? Oh, come on." And I know that's going to happen with MGS5. And I know something is going to happen because it's the end of Metal Gear and it's the end of Metal Gear Solid. It's the end of Kojima's career at Konami, and I know there's going to be something huge in there. That's crazy because it's a Metal Gear game, and I want to see it for myself. Like, it's so hard for people to experience video games by themselves without it being spoiled anymore.
Yep.
I just want one last one.
Yeah.
I just want this.
And like this isn't the end of Metal Gear. Let's be real here. This is the end of Metal Gear as we know it.
It's the end of Kojima's Metal Gear.
Yes, it's the end of
Konami will continue to squeeze that wet dish rag for the next 20 years as they're still in business. It's the end of Metal Gear in my heart.
Yes.
And
I agree.
when you look back at playing like MGS2 and MGS3 and MGS4, like nobody was spoiling that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We were still getting a lot of our news from EGM, which talk about how long it has been since MGS4.
Yeah.
I want to relive the good old days of video games again, where I can go into a game and genuinely be surprised about a twist or something in a game. And I haven't been watching these gameplay demos. I haven't been watching these trailers because Kojima spoils some of his own stuff, which is fine. That's his choice.
Yeah.
But I know how those trailers go. I know how those 35-minute cinematic trailers go.
Yes.
You will see the ending portions of that game after the credits of the trailer.
Yeah.
And you'll be super excited.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, last game I've been playing this week is Forza Horizon 2.
Nice.
I found out a way to solve my problem with the Xbox One.
Oh.
So, let me share everybody my trials and tribulations with the Xbox One. I fire it up, and because I'm part of the preview program, I needed another dashboard update. It's fine. It was only like 200 megs.
Nice.
So I apply that, and I get signed in, and I have this problem with the Xbox One versus the PS4, and this is not fair, and I admit it whole hog, just right at the beginning. The PS4, when you plug, and I've talked about this, plug a headset into your controller on the PS4, you have the option of no sound coming out of your TV, and all of it coming through your controller and your headset. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Because that means my wife can be sitting there watching TV, and I can be playing Destiny again, which I forgot to write down. I played more Destiny, whatever. Nothing new. It's not September 15th. So
yeah, right.
I like that on the PS4 because I don't have to worry about managing the TV's volume. Especially, I'm like the 1%er here because both her and I have the same TV, so the remote controls the volume on both of them. This is not a problem for sane humans.
No, it's not.
I know I have a very first world problem. But with the PS4, I don't have to worry about it because she can turn up and down the volume on both TVs and it doesn't matter. It's not a problem. When I go over to my Xbox One, I plug I have the stereo adapter, so I plug that into the bottom of the Xbox One controller. I plug my earbuds into that, and sound comes out of both of them. And I cannot manage that.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's how Microsoft does it. They're not expecting you to be in the situation that I'm in. I can't get mad about that.
No.
So the thing, I was poking through some of the TV control options they have, and they're like, hey, the Xbox One can control your TV, including the volume. Great, let's set this up. So I push the button, and it goes, hey, I see you have a Samsung TV. Cool, we already configured it. I was like, I don't know how you did that. I didn't press anything, but that's legitimately pretty cool. All right, so let's do this. So it says, all right, to make this change, we're going to have to reboot your Xbox One. I changed the name of my Xbox One. I was like, okay, cool. And I didn't realize that I set the Xbox One to control my TV, so it controlled both of my TVs. It turned off both of my TVs when the Xbox One turned off, and it turned on both of the TVs when it turned my Xbox One back on. I was like, okay, that's not... Right, I'm making a bad problem worse. Let's turn all of that off. That's really cool, and I do not need that. That's fine. But I found a setting that they recently added, I think, because I've never seen this before, where you can turn off all sound coming from your Xbox One through your HDMI cable.
Ooh.
So I'm still getting video. I just have no sound whatsoever. It's all coming out of my headset adapter. So that worked perfectly. So yay, I spent a ton of time with Forza Horizon.
Nice.
Because now I solved my problem that I have, because I'm never going to have sound coming through my TV really anymore. And if I want to, I can just turn it back on.
Yeah.
So since it's been 105 degrees out and no homes in California have air conditioning, because it's like one weekend a year that this is just the surface of the sun, I spent like 6 hours playing Forza Horizon 2 yesterday, and I spent about 3 hours this morning doing it. I checked my progression through this game, and I have not been messing around in the game. I'm doing like the races and quote unquote the story, the campaign stuff. Yeah. I'm 12% of the way through this game.
Wow.
That is awesome. I realized when I was playing this game yesterday, this is the game that I need right now. It's this open world racing game. There's just a ton of content. There are still people playing it. Musum and a bunch of other friends are still playing it.
Cool.
I joined the No Quarters Car Club. Still a bunch of people in there. It's just good. I loved the first Forza Horizon. I played the crap out of that. And Forza Horizon 2 just kind of takes all that and puts more of it in there, and then puts more cars and more events and all this stuff, and just kind of dumps you into it and says, all right, just go crazy. We have a bunch of stuff, and now you can race a biplane again, because that was pretty awesome last time. And now you can race at a steam engine. That was a pretty fun race. I feel like this was the game I needed, and to me, I've had a harder and harder time getting into the Forza proper games, because so many of them are they're doing stuff that it just doesn't really click with me, and Drivatar is so poorly implemented in them. And Drivatar is in Forza Horizon 2, but I don't know what it is about how people are racing in Horizon 2, or they tweaked Drivatar, but it doesn't really affect me anymore. Mm-hmm. And they added this totally optional but kind of fun photo mode in the game, where as you're driving past cars, you get rewarded for in-game money by taking pictures of unique cars in the game. And I'm up to about 230 at this point, and I don't know how many there are in the game.
There goes one. Go get it.
Yeah, I got it. There you go. Click, click, click. So that's kind of fun. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. You get a ton of extra money for doing it. So I'm rocking at like 2.5 million credits at the moment.
Nice.
It's just a solid game, and it's nice to play my Xbox One. I think that's the place you want to play racing games, because of the triggers that have rumble in them. And it's really great, like skidding around a corner and having your brakes rumbling because you're like on the line of totally losing it and fishtailing it, and just kind of like rumbling through this turn. And then when you hit a turn really nicely, all you're feeling is just this slight rumble when your car is shifting gears. And like, you're not feeling that resistance, you're not feeling that slipping where it's just like it feels really great. And Microsoft just did such a great job with that controller for racing games, and I feel like it's something that we keep forgetting about, and Horizon 2 made me remember, like, oh yeah, this is great to race in, because you have this extra bit of feedback. That's really cool. In a really minor way, but it feels like it feels like this extra reward when you're racing really well, or when you're racing through wheat fields, because a big part of Forza Horizon 2 is just there are a lot of races where you're not driving on the road, you're just going through the European countryside. There's this low level like rumble to it as you're going over like these ridges in this like a winery. You're busting up this winery, and it's kind of thump 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 all the way through. It feels so good, and the game looks great. It's really smooth. I don't think it's 60 frames, but it's a really solid 30. I kind of wish all racing games were 60, but I'm having enough fun with it that I don't really care that much. That's good. So Forza Horizon 2 is great. I wish it was pushing its DLC a little bit less, because one pane of the main menu is just, hey, the Ferrari pack. Hey, this $20 expansion, which looks really great. And I'll probably buy it at some point, but I wish it was pushing it a little bit less. Thankfully, it doesn't push microtransactions like Forza 5 did, where it's all over the screen. But it's great. It's a great racing game, and that's kind of the game I needed right now to just kind of sit there and go through some races and look at some cool cars. And thankfully, unlike Forza 5, it really pulls back on a lot of that car porn stuff that really lands flat for me, because I don't love cars that much. I like racing games, but I'm not the guy that's like, oh, do they have this one Porsche in there? You know, like, that's not... I don't really care. I laugh because they have a Honda Accord in there. You know, like, I'll be like, that's what I drive. But, like, they get away with that for the barn finds like they did in the first Forza Horizon, where you'll find this incredibly rare and incredibly old car, and when you restore it, it does the whole, like, you can look around it, it's real shiny, the tires are great. You can't climb in it like Forza 5, but it gets almost to that point. Oh. And it's not so in your face like Forza proper does, and I really, really like that, because that stuff, I feel like it's wasting my time, because I don't want any of it. And speaking of not wasting my time, thankfully the whole conceit around Forza Horizon 1 and 2 is you're going to this big racing festival in the middle of nowhere, and you're starting on the bottom, and there's this crazy famous guy at the top, and eventually you're going to beat him. And what's interesting is they couch it where the top guy is talking to you a lot in the game, but thankfully it's unlike what Dirt 3 did, where people are just talking forever. All he really does is like, hey, that was a great race, man, just keep it up for the next one, and that's it. Or like you finish a day in the game, which is usually like 3 championships, 3 tournaments of 4 races apiece. He'll be like, hey man, that was really great today, you did a great job, let's go back to the hub and we'll start doing it again tomorrow. And that's it, and then you're off. Like, it's just enough to keep you in the festival thing without being like, oh my god, like I've spent like 15 hours in this game, I know how to race. Like, you don't need to keep doing this. So it's really great. And I didn't realize how long we've been recording. We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
All right. Speaking of how long we've been recording, Audacity crashed on my machine. So,
I've got Pamela.
Yeah. And we can always extract the audio from the live stream like I've done before.
Yeah. We got it.
Yeah. I went to check about halfway through the last segment, and it was just like, yeah, I stopped.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to do that. Thanks, though.
Yeah. It's like, motherfucker. I'm just going to close this then. Just, it's just eating up.
Yeah, we're not even. We wouldn't even worry about it.
I'm going to pretend. Yeah, good call. Stretch.
So hot.
I bet, man. That's... So you don't even have like an AC window unit?
Well, we have like for my mother-in-law, we bought like one of those like plug-in floor units from Costco.
I've
but it's
never seen one
loud.
of those. Yeah, they are super loud.
It looks like a dehumidifier, but it's an AC unit. It's on wheels. It has a tube you put in the window. like.
Oh wow.
It was like $200, and an AC unit. This house was built in like the 50s. Yeah. So to get an AC unit, it's cheaper for us to replace our heating system with an AC heating system.
Yeah, with central air.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
Okay.
Not really out here, but it's more forced air because of California.
Okay.
But like that, to get AC would be like $4,000. Yeah. To do all of that would be $5,000. So it's like, well, why don't we just replace the whole system for $1,000 more? But
no,
I have a mortgage, so I don't have $5,000 laying around.
Yeah.
So
I honestly, you just convinced me to never move to California, because if I didn't have central air, I would melt.
Well, what's funny is like it's 1 or 2 weekends a year. It's just miserable, and the rest of the time it's fine because it's 70. Yeah. But like 1 or 2 weekends, and sometimes it falls during the week when you're at work that has air conditioning. But like there are weekends like this where it's just I'm at home and you can't do anything from like 10 a.m. until about 8 p.m. Because it's hot. Like we're in a desert. It's just super hot. So you just do nothing for the end of the day, and then at 8 p.m. you go grocery shopping. You know, like it's just
along with everyone else.
Basically, I went to Wendy's the other day at 10:30 at night, and I was in the drive-thru for half an hour because everybody was there.
Gross.
Yeah. But it's okay because I was hungry.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, eat a lot of salads during the day.
Yeah.
Salads aren't hot food.
No.
Yeah. So.
I'm going to grab a quick water.
All right. We should be able to knock out the rest of this in half an hour anyway.
Oh, I'm so tired.
My dog even left the room. That's how hot it is. She's going to go lay in the bathroom.
Oh, hi, Sam's. What are you doing, Bubs?
Is whichever dog threw up okay?
Oh yeah, he went outside and then was barking like an idiot. That's why I had to run away to go get him.
He just coughed it up. He's fine.
I don't know what you're puking.
Right, Gargoyle? I threw up. I want to lick you.
Get away from me, pukey face.
Just give him a Tums. He'll be fine.
There you are, Sam. This boy.
Stretch it out. It's podcast time.
It's podcast time.
Get limbered up.
Yep.
Limbered up to sit in a chair for 2 hours.
Yeah. Hey, it takes a lot of fortitude to be this lazy.
That's true. A lot of hard work.
Oh, man.
Alright, you guys ready to bang the rest of this out?
Yep.
Yep.
Get those show notes up. Oh, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption this week too, but you know, gotta save that for game.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that game club. Scott is having a ball.
Oh yeah, I know his feelings about open world. So.
Oh, and believe me, not much has changed. If not, it has refortified his position on open world games.
Hannah, did you buy the G-Horn in Destiny the other day?
No, because I don't have any like currency lying around. I haven't played in so long. I was like, yeah, that's really cool. Even if I like played all weekend, I wouldn't be able to.
Damn.
Yeah.
I had like 20 coins sitting around still, and I was like, great. Hop in there, play a little bit of PvP. All right, I'm good.
I saw it happen on Reddit, and I was just like,
yeah. I just got to finish up those triumphs.
Yeah.
I got like 23 days.
I will check out Taken King when it comes out. Maybe if I'm not done with Metal Gear at that point, which I won't be.
Yeah, 2 weeks is not enough for an open world Metal Gear.
Oh no! Hold on. That I get back that Tuesday.
Yeah, you have that whole week off, right?
I have that whole week off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish it at least once that week, or I'm just
mainline it.
Yeah, straight in my veins.
All right. Anywho, before we start talking about other stuff.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes was free on Xbox for Games for Gold.
Yeah.
Play that. It's real good.
It's only an hour.
I downloaded it.
Yeah, it's only an hour long. So
really?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how good you are at Metal Gear games. It could be an hour. It could be 3.
Could be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other challenges in there. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's short, but I mean, free is a good price for that.
Free's a great price for that.
Yeah.
Dimebag in chat. No, I have not heard the new Fear Factory album yet. I have it downloaded. I just haven't given it a listen. Have you heard the new Ghost? Because if you haven't, it's phenomenal.
I need to go listen to that.
Yeah, oh, dude, yeah. It leaked last week, and I was on it.
Pirate.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna go to their show, and I'm probably gonna get a shirt.
Yes, I am a pirate. 200 years too late.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, excuse me.
That dude.
I love Jimmy Buffett.
Knobs, I know you like that last Ghost album. You need to listen to the new one. It's pretty phenomenal.
I will most definitely check that out.
That's just a warm breeze. This is torture.
Isn't it? It's
breeze is like 85 degrees.
It's like the world like hot breathing you like.
Yeah. Oh, man. Rough. All right, let's bang this out.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week of August 17th, 2015. Zombie for the PC, PS4, and XBO.
This is interesting. This was a rumor for a while. This is Zombie U, one of the Wii U launch games, which apparently was actually really good. It was a really good survival horror game. Kind of surprised after 3 years that now it's coming out on other stuff. Curious to see how it transfers over, because that was a very gamepad heavy game. So I would be curious to see if that's any good or not.
This just came out of nowhere too, didn't it? It was just like, hey, they like the announcement was sort of vague, and it was like, oh, they're starting work in August. It's like, no, it's shipping.
Yeah, no, we're done.
Yeah.
The rumor was like, hey, this might be coming out, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a thing. By the way, like that's looking like next week.
Yeah. Alrighty. Curses in Chaos for the PS4 and Vita.
This is Tribute Games' new game. They of Wizorb fame. This is their new. It's a 2-player beat 'em up, like old school style beat 'em up for PS4 and Vita.
Nice.
Looks really cool. I think that was really great. Yeah, I'm excited.
Shadowrun Hong Kong for PC.
Yeah, that's the. I forgot until Musum mentioned it on Pup. That is the second expansion for Shadowrun. The first one was apparently pretty good, and it looks like this one, they went back to Kickstarter to get the funding for this expansion, and it did pretty well again. So seems like it's gonna be pretty good.
I really got to play through the last expansion for that.
Yeah,
the Dragonfall. Was it Berlin? I think it was called Dragonfall or something like that.
Maybe there's been a bunch of them. I don't know.
That's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Real cool game. Really loved it.
Yeah.
And Trine 3, The Artifacts of Power for PC.
That's a fair warning. That's a 3D game. That's not a 2D Trine game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the Z axis in that one. Looks interesting. It was on early access for a long time, as they were sort of sorting out some issues. Interesting. Trine has always been really interesting, and I just have never gotten to it. I think it's a game I would like.
Trine has always reminded me of a more modern version of the Lost Vikings.
Yes. Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like there's another game coming out that is pretty big that is exactly like that. I can't remember what though. Yeah, I don't remember. Anywho, news story this week. Resident Evil 2 HD remake in the works.
Cool.
Capcom says that they have just started work on an HD remake, which they're using remake instead of remaster, which thankfully, because Resident Evil 2 is old.
That's a thumbs up there.
I like Resident Evil 2 a lot. I think that's a really good game. I'm very curious to see how they would modernize that game, because that was kind of the height of tank controls for Resident Evil. So are they going to modernize it and like make it all Resident Evil 4 style? You know, like how's that going to work? Referencing the Giant Beast cast again, Austin Walker was talking about don't remake it, like do to the 2015 version of pre-rendered backgrounds and tank controls. Oh, interesting.
Make that game.
Do like what Grim Fandango did, which is sort of like, we're keeping it. We'll have a different control scheme if you really want it, but we're just kind of bringing this forward to smooth out the edges.
And could you imagine what you could do with pre-rendered in this day and age?
Yeah, that's a good question, because you don't
I don't know why I clicked on that.
Yeah, why would you click on that? Was that a virus?
No.
Oh.
It was a screaming face.
Did you install time clickers?
Boop.
Did it happen?
No, just someone in chat that needed to be banned. I It's interesting because we don't see a lot of games using pre-rendered backgrounds now. I'm assuming because the technology has gotten to the point where it's easier to make a polygonal environment than it is to manage a pre-rendered background and movement thereof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be curious to see if they would just go back and like redraw those backgrounds and say like, yeah, it's pre-rendered again.
Yeah. I mean, you can do a lot with that.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you do it pre-rendered as in this only gets drawn once on the screen, even if it is polygonal, we're not redrawing this.
I wonder have you guys seen that game, It Came From 1995? Where someone is making basically a Sega Saturn game today. It's coming out on PC and Vita, I think. And it looks spot on, like the blocky polygons, the pre-rendered backgrounds, the tank controls, everything. It looks completely faithful to all that stuff.
Huh.
I wonder if that's similar. What they're doing there. So. But unfortunately, that's all of our news this week because video game news sites are more interested in reporting on movies and comic books than video games lately. So.
Yay.
Yeah, that's all I got. Let's move on to tweets. Adderblack39 writes, "Hi guys, what's your favorite Assassin's Creed and will you be playing Syndicate?" I will be probably playing Syndicate. I need to finish Unity first. My favorite is probably Black Flag.
I would still put Brotherhood as my favorite if you had to ask me. Black Flag was one of those games where I sort of agree with Nintendo, where it's just like there's too much. And I can't handle it.
I filtered that stuff real early where it's like, okay, I don't care about these 4 things. These things are fun, I'll do that. And after that, it turned out to be a lot more fun. But Brotherhood is solid.
Yeah, Brotherhood is just from start to finish. That is a great game. Yep. I mean, you have this version. You now followed this character through one game, and you've got this is like the middle of his arc.
Yeah.
So it's not the origin story. Like it's the Empire Strikes Back of the Assassin's Creed series.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna play Syndicate?
Maybe like when it drops to like $10, maybe. I can't bring myself to spend money on that series anymore after
sale.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish more people would have played Black Flag because I feel like that made up for a lot of the mistakes 3 made, but 3 was bad.
It did, but like I'm not gonna get burned money wise on that one again.
Yeah, they already bit you once.
Yeah,
I'm having trouble going back after Revelations.
Revelations was rough, but
was a mess.
I plowed through that.
I finished it.
Yeah, the main bit was good.
I thought the ending was fantastic and a super bummer, and I wish more people would have gotten there, but I cannot blame anybody that bowed out early because that game was difficult to play, to control at a base level. That game was really difficult.
Yep.
For no reason. It worked fine before. Everything, Brotherhood and AC2 were solid. Brotherhood was starting to have a little bit of rough edges, but, nothing like Revelations.
Yeah.
That was a mess. All right, let's move over to emails.
Right.
We got an email here from Old Emu.
Hey.
Huge hellos to Boston Knobs and Brian.
Welcome
back, Old Emu. Long time no here.
For sure.
As always, the show rules, and I look forward to a new episode every week. Thank you. I want to give a quick thanks for 2 things. For the above Billy Corgan joke that made me laugh so hard I was walking my dog, I must have looked insane. The title of his email was lookatyourcats.com. And for recommending Alpha Bear, which is my new favorite Goodnight game, which I feel
that's a pretty good game.
That is also a really good, like, I'm laying in bed and I kind of just need to chill for a couple minutes. I'm gonna spell some words.
Oh, it puts me to sleep.
If I fall asleep, great. That's fine. I was recently selected to join an accident reconstruction task force. He's an officer of the law, for anybody that doesn't know Old Emu, that investigates in great detail any fatal or otherwise severe crashes throughout the county. We are all basically nerd cops that use a lot of math and science to gather evidence, e.g. speeds, vehicle dynamics, drag factor, etc. This job sounds awesome. I'm just going to put an aside there.
And a little horrifying.
Yeah, but mostly awesome. Anyhow, I got called out in my first fatal car versus cyclist last month, and pulling up felt exactly like LA Noire, all in caps. Literally, the tape was up and the intersections were blocked, and I was in plain clothes walking to the huddle of other detectives. Then I says to him, I says, "What do we got?" Turns out the bicycle was at fault. Man, LA Noire was great. Cole Phillips Lee, yours, Old Emu. That job sounds awesome.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm pretty jealous.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. Keeping Chicago safe in a math nerd way.
Yep.
I can appreciate that. That's a job for this show.
Yes.
Click, press X to be a dick.
Yeah, press X to yell at everyone. How dare you? I was in the war. John...
phone book.
Yeah. John H. writes in with an email titled Galak-Z. Hey guys, I want to put my 2 cents in regarding Galak-Z. Personally, I adore the game. From the aesthetics to the controls, I think it's perfect. While I totally disagree with you about the controls, I love the floaty inertia thing. It achieves the feeling of actually piloting a ship. I absolutely agree with that. It feels like... the only thing I can really liken it to is Asteroids, weirdly enough, where it kind of has that...
floaty?
Yeah, that floaty, but also like... if you're turned around the other way and you're hitting your forward thrusters, it's going to take a while for that inertia to build back up so you can float back the other way.
Okay.
I do, however, agree with you about...
Asteroids was such a good game. Sorry.
It really is. How can you go wrong with that?
It's a great game.
I do, however, agree with you about some of the roguelike elements. You do get some permanent upgrades through the blueprints, which I did talk about a little bit ago. They show up in the shop, and after many deaths, you actually get quite a few to choose from. Of course, it's randomized, so it's up to luck, so you have to keep trying till you get a perfect drop for your playstyle. One strategy that which, before we go on, how I felt better about that is I kind of likened that to a Binding of Isaac run, where your drops at the beginning of Galak-Z are very much similar to your drops in the first couple of floors in Binding of Isaac. If you don't get good drops, you're not going to make it to the end of the game in Binding of Isaac. You get a couple of great ones, you're probably going to... it's smooth sailing to the end. Same thing with Galak-Z, where, you know, if you start chapter 1 of that season and you're not getting anything great from the shop, or you don't have a lot of good money, you're probably not going to finish. So I thought that was interesting. One strategy that I use is just to do a suicide run that I just try and get crash coins, and the stress is gone because I'm expecting to die. That's actually a pretty good strategy where you're just building up crash coins more than anything else and then just cashing them out later. You even get lucky sometimes. You get $250 for each one upon starting your next run. Use that to get some laser upgrades and some temp shields, and you're good to go. I think this game is an amazing one-of-a-kind gen that everyone with a PS4 should try, especially if you grew up in the 80s. I agree, and I really hope that it gets a second life once the PC version comes out, whenever that's going to happen. I just wish there was a little bit more feedback in that game, like I said last week. I wish the feedback loop was a little bit better, and I wish it communicated its expectations a little bit clearer. I think that would resolve a lot of the frustration that a lot of people are having. So
I would imagine I've been apprehensive after getting burned by what was that one game, Hardcore something? It was like a Contra ripoff.
Oh, Contra Hardcore. That was Arc System Works' Contra game. That was a weird game.
It was really hard.
That game was brutal.
Yeah.
Next email here from Kevin from Cincinnati, titled "NVIDIA Shield." Kevin from Cincinnati here, longtime listener. I really enjoy your show, so thanks for providing it. Thank you for listening.
Hey.
I happened to pick up an NVIDIA Shield Portable. Man, it's awesome. I've been wanting to play some of the games while in bed while my 4-year-old daughter's running around, and this thing really knocks the experience out of the park. I had no idea this thing would work this great. The streaming is pretty much perfect. The delay is literally almost not there. The average eye will not even see it. I've been playing a bunch of Doom, Borderlands 2, Darksiders, and Space Marine on it, and it's been an absolute joy. It runs at 1280 by 720p, but looks nice on the small screen. I almost get 60 frames on it.
Wow.
Controller attached to it feels great as well. It's so impressive that my wife got one for her laptop, and we both bought the regular Shield to replace the Amazon Fire TV in our bedroom. It's literally my PC in our bedroom. Works best on a 5 gig frequency, but if range is an issue, you can use it on 2.4 gig, but you'll probably most likely get 30 frames depending on your video card. My wife has a GTX 765M, and I have a 980 Ti, and I can pull 60 frames on any frequency. All of that sounds really great. I didn't know enough about the NVIDIA Shield and how cool this thing is. Now I kind of want one.
Here's the problem. It only works with video cards above a certain type, and it only works with NVIDIA cards. So like that would be a problem for me.
I don't like AMD cards.
You know what? I got one for super cheap, and it's really nice. So that's what I ended up going with.
Yeah. Have they? I feel kind of dumb. I don't know really much about the Shield at all. Have they been doing any like video card plus NVIDIA Shield bundles where it's like?
Nothing. I don't know. I haven't heard of anything like that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
I would hope. That seems like a missed opportunity for people like you, Hannah, where it's like, oh, well, this thing seems really cool, but I can't run it on my current card.
Yeah.
Well, for $100-$200 off, I can get this card and a Shield and the controller, you know.
Yeah.
Get a whole bundle.
Yeah, that would be really cool, being able to do that.
That sounds like a really cool idea, and I had totally forgotten about that and the Shield Portable, but
I would play a lot more PC games.
Yeah, especially if you could kind of be anywhere in your house. You would laying on the couch, you know, in your dining room playing some games.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea that thing was that much.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey. It's like $250 or something.
For the portable?
For the NVIDIA Shield?
NVIDIA Shield Portable's $5, man.
Whoa, what? I might be thinking of the original.
Yeah, that is much more money than I was expecting, because I was just thinking, oh, so the Shield, oh boy, the Shield one to plug in your TV is $200, and the Shield 500 gig is $300. Yeah, so for $200 you can stream your computer to your TV, but also for whenever the Steam, what was that little Steam plug-in HDMI thing? What is that called?
Oh,
the Steam Link.
Something
I think.
like that.
That thing's going to be what, $100 when it comes out. So
they should call it the Steam Valve.
Then your branding's all over the place at that point.
Yeah, just the Valve Steam thing.
Yeah,
the Valve Steam Valve.
It works on every level.
Yeah,
you could say it wrong and you're still right.
It is the Steam Link, so that one to me seems like a better alternative because all your games are in Steam anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So for $100 less, you can just use Steam, and it doesn't. For people like you, Hannah, this would be perfect because Steam doesn't care what video card you have; it just cares about your network.
Yeah.
And Steam Link uses Wi-Fi, and I think it has an Ethernet connector on it too. So
that'd be brilliant.
I'm just gonna. I don't know. I can't tell. I'm not gonna spend. This show is not where we research things.
Yes, we're real-time Googles.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. But like that sounds like a better proposition. Obviously, they don't have like. I'm sure someone will figure out how to hook a controller or a little TV to it like they do with Raspberry Pis.
Yeah.
But that sounds, for people that don't want to invest necessarily in a better video card or don't want to move from AMD to NVIDIA, or ATI to IBM or whoever owns whoever anymore.
Yeah.
That $100 box from Steam sounds like a much better alternative than anything else. So, and you can just use your 360 Xbox One controller. Or a lot more games are supporting the PS4 controller now. So you just kind of use whatever you have already. You have a 360 controller if you're listening to the show. Like check under your couch cushions. There's probably 2 of them under there. We all have at least one. So I don't know. That sounds like a really cool deal, but I think we need to see what the Steam Link will be.
For sure.
When that comes out. But the dog is freaking out downstairs, which means it's time to end this show. And that's all the emails and tweets we have anyway. So
I would like to put a special message out there to Infinity Chicken right now because it just popped up that he's playing Time Clickers on Steam.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, pull yourself away from it.
Don't.
Save yourself.
Just don't.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to this week's show. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. And all the places you can find us and follow us are on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. Join us for our week of game nights. Monday night is Battlefield 4 until Battlefront comes out. As Monday night, 10 p.m. EST on the Xbox One. Tuesday is Destiny night.
Let's help each other with triumphs.
Wednesday's PS4 game night. Looks like we're Rocket League night.
Yep.
Join the TVGP Rocket League. Thursday Steam game night, and Friday, Saturday is find us and we'll play.
Friday and Saturday is your bag.
Yeah.
The current TVGP Game Club game is Red Dead Redemption. Pretty good from what I remember. Playing a little bit of it. It's not bad. It's very open world.
That's a video game.
It's very much a Rockstar game.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to listen to this cast though. I am chomping at the bit.
I like it. I will put that much information out there for now. A little teaser for you.
Yeah.
The new voting thread should go up this Wednesday or Thursday, depending on when I remember to do that. So we're starting the voting threads a little earlier so we can get a jump on the next game as soon as the first one ends. And it's coming up soon. We're going to need new suggestions. Our list is running a little short, and so now I'm going to put up a thread for new suggestions, and anyone who's already put in a suggestion can alter their current pick. So then we'll reshuffle all the names back into the list, and we will pick from that.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And if you'd like to watch this show live, you can do so at twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. Thank you all very much for listening and watching. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us live in the chat and chatting with us. We'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
All right, I have 2 titles.
What do you got?
On the Plastic.
On the Plastic?
Space for Tata.
Oh, speaking of On the Plastic, that when he dropped the Kaiser onto the mat in that Toy Soldiers, he's actually in a boarded box, and the plastic rips open and he hops out of it.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
It is so
That's
cool.
Perfect.
Once again, Jay-Z, missing you. I really wish you had some titles for me today, but I got a nice list here.
Okay.
I've got You Are My Meat Shield. Everything is fine until it's not. I just got carpet bombed. Drop the Kaiser, which might be one of my favorite things you've ever said, Knobs. They're so old. It's just so hard. RPG'd out. Squeeze that wet dish rag. The end of Metal Gear in my heart. I played more Destiny, whatever. Making a bad problem worse. Having they have the Z-axis in that one. The height of tank controls. Nerd cops. Press X to yell at everyone. Valve Steam Valve. And real-time Googles.
Valve Steam Valve. I kind of like Drop the Kaiser.
I'm a big fan of Drop the Kaiser.
That one's pretty good. Nobody will get offended at that, will they? I'm never that good at history.
I don't know. That's World War One. That's what, 1910?
I googled it, and it's the German word for emperor. So
yeah, I mean that's what happened in World War One. They got rid of the Kaisers.
Yeah.
All right, there is an affordable healthcare coverage company called Kaiser
Permanente.
Yeah.
How do you not know Kaiser Permanente? Is that an Ohio thing?
That's not my world, man.
That's not my bag, maybe. I'm gonna circle it.
All right.
I didn't have to find any title. Nobody get offended.
Hopefully.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 408 for August 17th, 2015. Drop the Kaiser.
Caw-caw!
Coming in German.
Just blowing out that mic every week. All right, thank you very much, everyone.
On his head. I mean, he's got the...
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us live. We'll see you next week. Bye.